up, YouTube? Shotgun Shogun here, and you know what we're gonna look at? This is the number 2 JP server legend RTA finisher. Now this came up in chat today. I was able to finish in 2nd place. Actually, you know what? Hold on, we're gonna follow this dude. So cool. This dude has it's got a pretty good amount of followers, but I was able to finish 2nd place in RTA this last season. Thank you very much to everyone who supported me, all the witch blows and all the sisters melons. Google Translate doing an absolutely phenomenal job at translating JP. I don't know what witch blows or sisters melons. I do know what sisters melons means, actually. Never mind. So 2nd place. They posted up every one of their character stats. So we're going to look through all these character stats and we're going to talk a little bit about these. I want to see how these compare to what I've seen a little bit on global, what I think in terms of stats. Now, one of the interesting things here is it seems like a lot of these units are a little bit slow, and that's because it does seem like they're not really speed checking a lot of their gear, right? So if we take a look here, first up we're going to be looking at the Archdemon Mercedes, Archdemon Shadow. So we're looking at like 178 speed, but this bulk is insane. We're looking at 1900 defense, 19k HP. Yeah, it's a little bit slow at 178, but doesn't matter because it's ADS. This thing is built like an absolute truck. 111 effectiveness here. There's not really a lot of lost stats. Now the thing is a lot of the extra damage is going to be coming from that F10, that plus 30 F10 artifact. It is on counter set too, so 178 is not actually too bad. I want to compare that actually to my Archdemon Mercedes in terms of speed. Now mine's not nearly as thick. Mine is a little bit more fast, and I've got a lot more attack. So mine is, I'm also on violin. I also haven't updated mine in a while, but that did seem a little bit slow to me, but that bulk is insane. 1900 defense, 19k HP. That is a lot right there. There's not a lot of wasted stats. I mean, I need to get rid of about 1,000 of my my attack in favor of more bulk, that's for sure. Now, one thing to point out here, this guy only has 2 million gold. That means in terms of gold, I'm rocking this guy, absolutely rocking this guy. Let's go. So this is a really well built Archdemon Mercedes, and I'm actually going to try to emulate this in terms of defense and HP. This is extra thick, and I am very impressed with this ADS. This is a really thick, really solid ADS. Now moving on to the next one, we're going to see Riolet, and again, this is really slow. I am not used to things being 140 speed. Even slow things on global, like slow is like 180, right? Like, chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like if you're under 180 speed, it's ridiculously slow. Now this thing has 2500 defense, almost 20.5k HP, and 170 effect resist, which I mean is about it's decent. I mean 170 is pretty good, but like 141 speed even with Water's Origin, I feel is like just really slow. Also, I'm really hoping that this is a world boss. These are world boss drops, and this guy is not farming Golem, because we've got 2 HP sets here. Overall, this Riolet, I don't know. I'm gonna compare this real quick with my Riolet. This is gonna cut off half of my screen here. LD player does that a lot, but let's take a look here. Now I'm not gonna say that my Riolet is the best in the world. Actually, my Riolet is about 48 speed faster, but I don't have the bulk. My bulk is a little bit less and my effect resist is a lot lower, but I'm also on speed immunity, whereas he's rocking double resist and HP. Now I'm wondering, I think that like the big difference here, right, is that we've had a lot more time to farm gear, right? So I'm rocking speed immunity. He's resisting with the 170. Now he does have about 70 more. I do think that my ring is not a resist main stat, or if it is, we'll see. Maybe I need to revisit mine anyways, but like 141 speed seems so slow to me, and I feel like this is just going to get lapped. Now Water's Origin is going to help push forward, right? But and the bulk is huge, so it is going to be really annoying to try to kill this. But I do think that this is an interesting one. Very slow, and that seems to be, we'll see as we keep going, but I think that that's going to be a bit of a theme right here, because we're going to go into ML Keck, Warhorn, counterattack, crit, 24.5k HP. This is your Bruiser build. 198 speed, still a little slow, I feel, but you do have the Warhorn, you do have his ability. ML Keck is looking like an ML Keck. Very strong unit right now. Even just not being picked into debuff, just being picked in general, ML Keck is very strong right now. This is pretty decent build. Mine's on spare gear. I'm not going to show you mine. I'm not, because it's bad. I got to rebuild it. This FCC is thick, but not quick. 200 speed. Mine, if we take a look here at FCC, now I haven't touched my FCC in a while, but we're looking at 225 speed with 25.6k HP. This does have a lot more effectiveness for the lockdown, right? More defense, but like 25 extra speed. I feel like it's just a like a global differentiation, right? Like I like mine a little bit faster. I like being able to make sure that I can get like the clutch S3 up before any bruisers, anything like that. So it is a little bit similar. Now one thing to note here too is that this user does have like a fair to moderate amount of purple gear in there, so they haven't had nearly as much time as a global player to be replacing, to be getting, you know, 26 speed helmets and stuff like that. So there is going to be that gear differential, but I am a little bit faster here. I mean, overall, if your whole region is a little bit slower, being 200 speed is not very bad, right? If everybody's a little bit slower, then 200 speed is like 225 speed when everybody is 25 speed faster, right? So this is a very solid FCC. I personally like Arius a little bit better on her than Adamant, but I'm sure that at some point he's going to have the Arius user, so that way he can, you know, overlap the two maybe. But yeah. So we're going to go back, we're going to go to the next set of pictures here. And this is going to be Rem. This is your typical Rem build. A lot more HP. Mine is a little bit more glass cannon, and it's interesting to see pen set, but at the same time it's not, because a lot of what your Rem is going to be doing is single target, off of the single target counterattack. So this doesn't benefit your S3 at all, but really doesn't matter. The pen set is actually pretty interesting, and I think that that's going to make up for a little bit of well, actually these DPS stats aren't bad, and that's a lot of bulk. This is a really good Rem, actually. I really do like this Rem. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna probably emulate this Rem a little bit. I'm gonna see what kind of pen set I have on here. I didn't even think about pen set, honestly. I mean, is kind of skirting it here a little bit with that 95.8% crit chance. I'm just saying, a little bit rough. That is not even a 50-50, right? 50-50 is 99%. So, you know, is what it is. But this is a really good Rem. This is what you should aspire your Rem to be if you're building a Rem. Now here we go, Violet. I personally don't typically like a super slow Violet. Not only that, but the thing with this Violet, right, is defense actually is a little bit better than HP when you get missed. And having 985 defense, I think he would have been a little bit better to min-max that a little bit better, have like 1200 defense with like, you know, 16k HP or, you know, 18k HP. Just bring up the defense just a little bit. I don't like a slow Violet. I like having, you know, natural turn progression, being able to like pop up and cut and kill something kind of early on. But that's just me. I know that there's the benefits of both, and this is going to hit really hard. I do think that he could potentially have moved a little bit of that attack into crit damage, maybe kind of even that out a little bit more. I think he's a little top heavy in attack, maybe dropping like a couple hundred attack into crit, more crit damage. And then evening out the HP and the defense a little bit probably would be a more balanced Violet. But it does look like he's using Abyss boots and arena ring, so it is what it is. But I mean, this is still a pretty okay Violet, just not my personal cup of tea, but obviously working out for him, right? ML Ken, holy crap, bro, look at that effect resist, dude. And that's not even on a resist set. Holy crap, that's 263 effect resist on a destruction set with immunity. What is this ML Ken? This is insane. Yeah, how is this even possible? I mean, it's got to be a destruction effect resist main stat ring. But bro, there's got to be like 30% effect resist on those two immunity pieces. This is nuts. This ML Ken is insane. Not only that, but it's not a slouch in terms of DPS either. Now, I would go for a little bit more HP here, but chances are you're just drafting this into debuff anyways, and you're gonna kill it. Like, you're gonna kill it, dude. This is absolutely one of the most insane ML Kens that I have ever seen. And earlier I was like, you know what? I'm going to make the best ER ML Ken in the entire world. I don't know that I can do that anymore. I don't know that that's physically possible for me after seeing this ML Ken. This is the best ML Ken, the best ER ML Ken that I have ever seen since I have started playing this game. This is insane. This is the ML Ken that I want my ML Ken to be. BBK 200. This guy has rolled so much effect resist. Double F res, offset, main and boot. 210 F res, and still a lot of damage here too. Like, what is this guy's F res, man? Maybe they're like, you know what? Hey, we can't outspeed them, but we can out F res them. Easy life, dude. Easy. This is crazy, bro. This stuff is nuts, man. These guys are on a whole different level of effect resistance. Absolutely nuts. Now we got two Arby's. I'm sure it's going to be a degen. Wait, what is this Arby? Oh, this is the classic This is the classic attack set. Arby dies, kills everybody Arby. That is 5,800 attack with 340% critical hit damage. This comes back with a Gab. This guy is a Golem gamer, dude. This guy is 100% a Golem gamer, because this isn't stuff that you get from World Boss. This guy didn't craft this stuff. This guy is a certified rank 2 legend Golem gamer right here. The only problem with this Arby, right, is that you get one shot. And if somebody kills him with a skill nullifier, immunity, something like that, you know, even a thick ML haste barrier is gonna mitigate this. Not much else is gonna mitigate that, but the only Arby I fear is the attack set Arby. That's true. I mean, this was like classic Arby, right? Let's see what the other one is. This is Degen Arby without being what is this Arbiter Vildred? Hold on, chat. I'm super confused as to what this Arbiter Vildred is. This looks initially like a degenerate Arby, right? You have counterattack set, you have immunity. However, he's using Wind Rider with less than 9,000 HP and 967 defense. I don't understand this guy's Arbiter Vildreds. This one, Wind Rider Cleave Arby. But why counter set? Why would you have counter set on him if it's not degenerate Arby? Like, that doesn't really make much sense, right? Because you don't have Moonlight Dreamblade, so you're gonna get hit. And then you're gonna die. Now, granted, this Arbiter Vildred has almost as much damage as the other one. I think even if you get hit and you counterattack, you're still gonna die. Like, I think this thing dies to like a stiff breeze. So I'm not really understanding the counterattack set and the immunity set here. Probably because it has the stats. That might be true. But that is two maxed out Arbiter Vildreds, man. Here's the Riolet, 220 speed, speed pen. However, 220 speed, real slow in the real world. Really good damage, 337 critical hit damage, 4,000 attack. I do think that this would be a little bit better if he maybe dropped some of those stats for more speed to just outspeed in one shot. But that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, boys. There's not much that's going to live through this. As long as this Riolet gets a turn, whatever that Riolet is focused on, it's probably dead. Let's be real. 4,000 attack, 337 crit damage. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage right there. That's flex tape levels of damage. Again, though, usually if you're doing like speed pen Arby, you want to be faster than that. You want to like just open dead, right? You know, right behind your sea Lilias, stuff like that. That thing would get eaten by any Elfelt Solitaria out there. It's too squishy and too slow. Yeah, but again, like I said, if everybody else is slow, you're fast, right? I do think that, you know, upping that speed a little bit would be a lot better. Now, here's the LQC. Entirely too slow. The bulk is around mine. but that's just entirely too slow. If we take a look here at my LQC, I'm actually really proud of my LQC. I think it's one of the better LQCs out there. I don't have as much bulk, but I have 60 more speed, right? I'm at about 60 more speed. Yeah, about 52 more speed. Yeah. Yeah. Even though he has more bulk, that thing may die or get CC'd or something before that thing gets a turn. Now, granted, she does push herself up, right? But yeah, I think being able to drop in a little bit of that bulk, like some of that HP in favor of speed, is going to be a lot better off. Again, though, that could very well be just the gear check differential between the two, right? Yeah, there's not much out there. Maybe that speed Riolet though would kill, or that Riolet would kill my LQC, right? But still, Elfel, or not Elfel, but Amelia push your LQC forward that way. I mean, because even at 128 speed, right? If you're using Amelia to push forward, you still might not cut whatever it is that you need to bonk, right? So I think 128 speed, I do not like this LQC build, but if it works for him, then it works for him, right? Yeah, I don't know what he uses to push it up. I haven't seen this guy play, so but I mean, if we're looking at the C Lilias, yeah, you got to assume that JP is anywhere from 25 to 30 speed slower than global, right? Because although look at the bulk on this thing, it's 281 speed, but it's got 20k HP with 1300 defense, dude. That's pretty nutty, honestly. I mean, but even with that, I mean, maybe 281 speed is opener speed on JP. That's a lot of bulk, though. Like, mine is real fast. Mine is 299, but it is not that bulky at all. Like, it is not even close. It is not even remotely close to that in terms of bulk. So I would outspeed, but that's about it. It would be interesting to see what the JP, like what JP people, what is their opener's average speed, right? Is it around 281? Because if so, then we could just assume the JP is about 20 speed slower than us. Yeah, and in global, you know, we got the CN players that are like 10 speed faster than anybody, right? But yeah, no, I mean, this is actually pretty solid. This is pretty solid. I mean, even if you don't get first turn, chances are you're not really killing this, right? And then you just come back around. This is going to have some staying power. You're going to get charges from your border coin, stuff like that. So mine is 295 speed with 17k HP and 1100 defense. Yeah, so I mean, you definitely outspeed this guy with a kind of similar bulk, a little bit less bulk for more. So I mean, yeah, this is, I mean, I do like the bulk that this C Lilias has for sure. If we're looking at the Lionheart Sermia, Lifesteal Pen, this is a good amount of defense. She's really new, so this does seem to be similar to some of the Lifesteal builds that I've seen. I like it, although to be fair, not Chaos Sex Sermia, so trash. Not Chaos Sex Sermia, no thanks. Next, Apoc Ravi. So this is a pretty good Apoc Ravi. I think that Seed is slow. 175 for speed is a little slow, maybe. It is counterattack though, so 175 on counterattack with 1459 defense and about 25.5k HP is pretty good. overall. Now this guy seems like a Banshee farmer. This guy's got a lot of Banshee gear, got a lot of resist gear, and a lot of pen gear. So B13, C13 Pro right here. Very similar to a lot of Ravis that I see. At least it's not like timeless anchor or proof 30k HP counter Ravi that just eats everything all day in Guild Wars. Very solid Apoc counter Ravi. Personally, I'm more a fan typically of speed Apoc Ravi, but that's personal preference because I really don't want to rely on counter a set too much. Yeah, the attack and the crit damage, this doesn't do a lot of damage. And one of the things too, and I don't know if they know this, but a lot of people don't know that Apoc Ravi does actually need some attack in order to do damage because she scales off of both attack and crit damage, unlike... or well, crit damage because of HP, unlike characters like Alencia, where you can completely forgo your attack because the modifiers are such that crit damage is exponentially better. Apoc Ravi is more of a balanced unit that needs some attack as well as crit damage, and you can't ignore either one of them because, well, otherwise then if you just go nothing but HP and crit damage, then you're not hitting as hard as if you have a good mixture of all. Go use mass damage calculator if you want to test all of that out. But overall, good Apoc Ravi. Going with the slow tanky Angelica. Angelica of Light. I honestly like this. A lot of people didn't understand when people started switching to this, and I told them, I'm like, remember when Bazaar was super fast, and then people realized that Bazaar was super fast, so they were just like, you know what, I'm gonna make my cleanser really fast so that way I can just cleanse the unbuffable and then I'll be really good. Easy life, boys. Well, then everybody went, hey, you know what, let's just slow our Bazaars down to 220 speed, give them a shit ton of tank stats, and then they don't know what to do. Oh, you put up your debuff immunity? Stripped. Oh, you didn't get to use your cleanse on, Kitty Clarissa? That sucks. Push back, unbuffable. I'm gonna kill all your people. You know what? Oh, you can't put up your DN buffs or your attack buffs or your Maid buffs because, well, my Bazaar is just gonna cleanse, just gonna get rid of all of that. People are starting to do that with Angelica of Light now, because, well, she's a tank. This thing's got 2 key defense, 16k HP, 229 speed, a good amount of effectiveness. This is going to go after potentially your ML Kawerik, your Maid, your faster Maids, things like that. So you're going to be able to strip any of those. I love it. It's good, and you don't need immunity because you can't stun her. Easy life. This is a really good Angelica of Light build. Not only that, but now people are moving their speed gear to like Pieria, Rand, Lilias, and AOL is not really being used as an opener now, so they have to put her on slower gear with tank gear because, well, not everybody can gear all of them at 300 plus speed except for like some of the CN players. So this is a really good build for Angelica of Light. Now, boom, Maid. What are we looking at? 200 speed, good bulk, 194 effect resist, your very stereotypical Maid. However, she's using Shimadra staff, which is weird. A lot of people don't use Shimadra staff. Usually it is also it's either Idol's Cheer or it is a Water's Origin on your Maid. However, Shimadra staff is going to help out with that effect resist, is going to help out with that little bit of healing that she does. So not bad. I like Shimadra staff. I think that it can be used on more people, but for some reason it just doesn't. People really overlook Shimadra staff quite a bit. I think that it can add, especially if you have like another passive healer, like a Falconeer Quarry or something like that. Good stuff. Good solid Maid. I like it. Sage Baal. This is counter Sage Baal at 207 speed with good bulk. What? Okay. All right. 177 effectiveness. Counter 207 speed. 207 speed on counter set, bro. This guy is a 100% a Banshee gamer. This is a... I mean, he's got a crown. Usually you see Sage Baals on proof. But this one's got a crown. So if you don't sleep, you can potentially stun. Definitely for lockdown. 20.5k HP, 1600 defense. You're really not going to be doing a ton of damage to this. It's going to cycle. It's going to lock you down. 207 speed is really good. Now it doesn't have any effect resist, which is one of the problems that, you know, you usually run into with like with this guy, is you getting controlled and then, you know, stopped really fast. And getting taken off, but this is a really amazing build. 207 speed with counter set is just pretty ridiculous in general, especially with this bulk and effectiveness. Like this is a really good Sage Baal. This is kind of crazy. Mine is more effective effect resist, but this thing is pretty solid. I'd imagine that like if you get 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 with this Sage Baal, he's just gonna lap and clap. I like this. This is really good. This is really solid stuff. Spirit Eye Celine, 230 speed, a lot of damage on. Yeah, this is pretty good. Lifesteal Pen. I really don't know a whole lot about ML Celine because, well, I don't have one. I just fight against her. But this is pretty good. 230 speed, not bad. Again, a little slow maybe for global, but overall stats, it's gonna hit real hard. And then you got Dust Devils, so this is pretty good. I like this ML Celine. I wish I had one. All right, Belian. Okay, let's take a look at this. So injury immunity. 25k HP, 1500 defense, Elbrus. 50% critical hit chance, and 221 critical hit damage. What was mine? I'm pretty pleased with mine. We're looking at 27.6. He's got more defense than me. We both aren't gonna crit. I also have a bit more effectiveness. How much effectiveness did he have on his? He doesn't have any effectiveness. Now I think with Belian, right, landing your debuffs on the S1 into the S2 is huge. I think it's huge. I think having a little bit of effectiveness is really good to overcome any residual effectiveness or anything like that on a bruiser. For anybody who has extra effectiveness just kicking around. Where I'm a little bit more HP, he's a little bit more defense. I like a bit more HP just because it scales. Both on injury. I think this is good. I'm on hit though, he's on immunity. So personally, I have felt that immunity is kind of losing a little bit of its place just because everything soft strips now. So even if you have immunity at the beginning of the match, an AOL is going to strip it, or a C Lilias is going to strip it, or a Pierre is going to strip it, or Rand's going to strip it, or Cerise is going to strip it, or it doesn't matter. Take your pick of anybody that reduces buff cooldown or strips buffs. So why not get some extra stats? Just rely on 15%. This is a pretty good Belian. Belian's really not too hard to build, especially injury Belian. Is what it is. I'm gonna have to cut this because the dogs are gonna flip out in now. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You'll find out when I post the video. All right, moving on to the Specter Tenebria. 176 speed. I don't like it. It's too slow. Obviously drafting it into not counter or not AoE, probably really important. I do like a little bit of a faster Specter Tenebria, good damage, an okay amount of bulk here, just to shove off like some residuals. But pen set lifesteal. Pen set doesn't work after your S3. However, if you soul burn your S1 into your S3, something's probably going to die because you have pen set. Pen set doesn't work on her dual attack because it's a double attack. It's two targets, it's not a single target. But I guess if you are booking and you're S1ing into S3, that's going to be a lot of extra damage because of pen set. However, after that, it's useless. 93% crit chance. You hate to see it. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I know that people have used the Lifesteal Stenny, right? I didn't really like it that much personally. That's my own opinion on that. I like speed. I want to be able to just get in there, get my damage done, take out an important target. I would be interested to see how much the extra damage that you get from just that double up of the book into with the pen set of the S1 S3, and just what it could take out. Like, can this take out a Rem, even a tanky Rem? Can this take out a, you know, a whatever your primary target is? Like, what is, I have to run the math on that, but it's interesting. And I mean, I guess the lifesteal's there to heal back any residual damage that you might take from like an errant AoE that you do live through. I still think that speed is probably good as long as you bring some support and like shields or Arius Adamant. I don't necessarily think that lifesteal is really all that good, and I think that the stats that you lose from not running speed or something else as speed doesn't make up for lifesteal personally. Personal opinion. Iseria, symbol of unity. This is to take out violets. This is a good one. A little bit slow, 208 speed, but you can't kill her, so she'll just be immortal. A good amount of attack, also a good amount of crit damage to bring in the crit damage on symbol of unity, which means that his Charlotte isn't on symbol of unity if he's running one. But overall, this is a phenomenal Iseria. I would go a little bit faster, just to also be able to use her to put up debuff immunity. Operator Sigret, this is where some of his speed gear goes. That's a good DPS Operator Sigret, and this is going to kill pretty much anything with a shield. I need to build this. Hold on. OP Sig. Thanks, chat, for earlier not reminding me that I need to build Operator Sigret for that. Cool. Thanks, dude. So this is good. It's a force ban against anybody that picks FCC because this is going to kill something instantaneously. So this is really good. Very, very solid. Top model Luluca. They have Milim, right? JP has Milim. Why are you using bootleg Milim? This is pretty good. 217 speed though is not good. At 217 speed, even with 1329 defense, 9k HP, this thing's dead. This is not going to get a turn against anything but the slowest teams. It's got good damage, and it does have Dignisorm and pen set, but at 217 speed, this is dead by even like the most normal bruisers in global. I don't really like this build at all. All right, a Tywin. I haven't seen an A Tywin in ages. This looks like the Bruiser DPS A Tywin. Only has 85% effectiveness, which to me, I guess, is okay. You're going to stun bruisers, but there's no way you're stunning any support. You're not controlling any support. Like the damage is okay on this, but the speed is bad. 188 speed here. Like, I don't know, man. And typically with a Tywin, you want to go one of two ways. You either go, I'm going to be a counter soul stealing DPS machine, or the more popular build is like the really high effectiveness, like 220 speed, tanky control a Tywin, which I think personally is probably one of the better a Tywins out there. But yeah, this is a weird hybrid. I don't think 85 effectiveness is going to be enough to lock down anything. Realistically, if you're locking down bruisers, you don't need this much effectiveness. And you're not going to lock down support with this. I also don't really think that a Tywin has been meta for a little while. I haven't seen one in any of the streams of people that I've watched, so yeah, I don't know. I also don't. I feel like Elbrus Ritual Sword's probably better, just for the clapback soul steal. I guess this is the AoE one that steals souls as well too, right? I guess it's just for soul stealing. Roana is literally Roana. Counter Celestine is what it is. Extra thick. I mean, look at that. That's 23k HP, 2k defense, slow as a brick, but extra thick. Landy is guiding light, speed Landy, decent damage, okay bulk. Could go a little bit higher on the crit damage here, but overall it's your stereotypical speed Landy, right? The extra bulk there is just to eat like any random AoEs through stealth, because you get reduced damage, so it's going to keep you alive. Your run of the mill mid speed Landy. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy. Injury Bloodstone SSB. Okay, let's go. The bulk here is okay. Could be better. The crit damage is low. The attack is pretty okay. I feel like a bit better of a balance between attack and crit damage would be better here. Usually you go really high attack if you're using drink, but this is Bloodstone. Speed doesn't matter. A little bit of effectiveness here, probably from random gear and probably imprint maybe. It's injury SSB. I personally like my SSB with about 18k HP. I like the more bulk the better on her, because she is not there for a lot of damage. She's there for extended chip damage and defense break. I'd be interested to see how this works out. I would like to see a match with this in it, in order to see how this unit plays out. We've got a lot more units to go, by the way. Rimuru is going to be a proof of valor tank Bruiser Rimuru. The damage is okay. You got, I mean, the damage is actually going to be pretty good. You got 286 crit damage here. You've got pen set, which I don't know. I've never really, I wasn't really a big fan of pen set. I feel like you get away with better stuff. Proof of valor. I mean, I am still partial to Uberius Tooth for extra damage. Good speed at 201. You do have enough bulk here to be able to eat stuff, especially with Proof of Valor. Not too many things are going to be able to one-shot you right out of the gate. and just go from there. I mean, it seems to be, I've been seeing a lot more kind of tanky Bruiser Rimurus, so this is very, very typical, right? All right, here's the Milim, but it's 191 speed on counter with very little bulk. This guy seems to put a lot of counter sets on things that have no HP. That's a lot of damage though. Like 303 critical hit damage, 4K HP or 4K attack. That's a lot of damage, but it's slow. And it's a little squish, honestly. Yeah, no pen set either. But I guess at that speed, you kind of have to have immunity, right? I'm not a big fan of this build either. Pass. 180 speed Amelia. Good bulk. Amazing, amazing ER, but literally wasting one of the best initiators, Soul Weaver initiators in the game. 180 speed, bro. This is Soul Weaver Oxlots. This is Soul Weaver Oxlots that you're going to use to push your straws forward, push your LQC forward, give yourself attack buff. You know, this is the better Oxlots. You have it at 180 speed. I don't know, man. I don't know about this. I don't know about this JP server and their speeds. I don't know. SMH. I don't like this build. I don't like this build at all. I think Amelia, speed Amelia, something akin to, why does this keep doing this? Something similar to this is probably better overall, in my opinion. 255 speed. I go against any bruisers. I'm gonna outspeed them. I mean, I literally have, hold on, I have the same bulk. I just don't have the same effect resist. I only have 119 effect resist, which you can't see because it's right here. I have the same bulk, but I have 70 plus more speed, 85 more speed. This is one of the best initiators. You go against any tanky team, this pushes your straws forward. This pushes your LQC forward. You get attack buff, they're dead. Yeah, I don't like this build. That's doo-doo. That's a good carrot. That's a lot of attack. I do think you could use a little bit more health. Destro, I don't understand. It's got to just have the stats, right? Because the crit damage doesn't matter, really. The crit damage doesn't matter on this carrot at all. This must just be spare Destro gear that has the stats, because it really, crit damage doesn't really matter. I guess like a little bit of the crit damage when you S3, but overall doesn't really matter too much. Really good defense, but at 10.4k HP, this is kind of squish, honestly. I don't really like this at all. This has got to be spare gear. Like, unless there's some sort of crazy tech, this is just way, way, way too squishy, especially at 191 speed. Yeah, zero effectiveness. This carrot is weird. I don't like this carrot. All right, time to be. First off, I don't like Holy Sacrifice. That's a counter carrot with none of the bulk. Yeah. I don't like Holy Sacrifice. Personally, I still think that JFA is probably one of the best artifacts for Charlotte, or Spirit, or Symbol of Unity. Especially if you're doing Lifesteal Charlotte. Symbol of Unity is probably the best. Followed up by JFA if you're doing like speed. 152 speed, dirt slow. Does have good-ish bulk. Decent attack. I feel like there's a lot of crit chance in her build that could just be gone. He does need a lot more damage based on this speed. Now, if we take a look here at my Charlotte, I mean, I don't have nearly the amount of bulk, but this thing hits like a truck. Yeah, I've got more speed, I've got more attack. You got more crit damage. I think you can get rid of, easily mod off some of this crit chance into other things. The bulk is good, but yeah, I really don't like Holy Sacrifice on her, honestly. Symbol of Unity is going to help you with violets. What was his Symbol of Unity on? His Symbol of Unity was on Iseria. His Symbol of Unity was on Iseria. This is a Sage Fire 5 head. Yeah. All right, Champ Zerato. This is a pretty okay Champ Zerato, actually. Lifesteal HP. That's really good bulk. Enough damage, although it's slow. It is pretty slow. It's a lot thicker than mine. I really need to revisit mine. Mine was built for speed and damage. I'm torn, and I've always been torn on slow C Zeratos, right? Because the problem with C Zerato being dirt slow is you don't get your S3 up. You don't get natural turns. So you are reliant on them to debuff you. Now, if you get to the point where they only have that option to debuff you, well, then you win anyways. But it is really good bulk. I personally, like I said, I like a little bit faster. I also feel like you could probably do with Ilela Violin, because if they put up debuff immunity and you get defense broken and you can't get that defense break off of you, even though you're going to be countering, yeah, you're going to be life stealing, but if you got defense break on you, it's going to die. It's just going to die. So if you can't transfer the defense break back onto your opponent and get it off of you, that puts you in a bad spot. It really does. Sure, are you going to get a counterattack every time you hit because, well, you can't transfer it back? Yeah, absolutely. And this does do a pretty good amount of damage, but all you need is one defense break into like an Apoc Ravi or anything along those lines, and you're just dead. But I do like the bulk on this. It is good bulk. It's not bad. Again, I think that Violin instead of Proof of Valor probably would be better. Yeah. Lilibet. Injury Lilibet. Chat, has anybody ever ran Injury Lilibet before this guy? I have never seen an Injury Lilibet. I bet this guy is real happy that this is going to get it buffed. Probably really likes the armpits. Let's be real. I mean, 175 speed, that's a lot of defense, a good amount of bulk. The crit damage is a little bit low, but it is what it is. This guy's got multiple 30 plus 30 Sigret sites. Must be nice, dude. Must be nice to be a whale. But I mean, overall, yeah, it is what it is. I'm interested to see how she's going to perform after her buff. So we will see. But injury, this guy's got a lot of injury stuff. This is like what his third injury unit: injury SSB, injury Lilibet, and injury Belian. Closer Charles, 262 speed. Was pretty good. Good amount of damage. 262 speed, which we've already established is probably pretty quick when it comes to the JP server. I wish I had Closer Charles. This guy is using 278 pieces, by the way. 278 pieces on this. OP. And finally we come to the last slide of this guy's characters. ML Haste. That's a lot of defense on that ML Haste, but he is super slow. And he's got effectiveness, dude. Oh, this is counterattack. That's why it's so slow. Counterattack ML Haste. That's a lot of bulk, though. That is a pretty bulky boy. I guess the effectiveness is to strip buffs. I mean, it is what it is. ML Haste just needs to be extra thick. Personally, I would move some of that defense into HP, considering that he scales off of HP. So you would want to have more HP over defense, but yeah. You not only that, but I feel like you need to be a little bit faster, right? I personally am not a big fan of Portrait on him because I don't use him for DPS. I use him as a Idol's Cheer Sponge, since he's going to be a target. And even then, after if they kill everybody else and it's just him, he's just constantly cycling himself and he's a bit faster. So I personally like Idol's Cheer on him, but that is my opinion. I don't really like this build. Yeah. This ML Haste probably gets used in A13. That's true. That's true and real. That's probably where he uses this. Just dump some of that defense, because you know that one of these is like a defense main stat. Just switch it to an HP main stat, dude. ML Crow, this is actually a really good bulk. Again, a lot of defense on HP scaling units. A bunch of extra effect resist that doesn't need to be here. 219 speed's okay. Bastion, put Arius or Adamant on him. I mean, I don't know. Bastion's okay, but not really the best for this for ML Crow. You can easily dump like 200-300 defense and add like another 3k HP to do more damage. Maybe just be more ML Crow. This is really weird. Like this ML Haste and this ML Crow, I do not really understand why he's rocking so much defense on these when they scale off of HP. I don't like them. Celine, you're very typical slow. I'm just going to kill one thing, but it's also on Lifesteal with Pen at 170 speed. Probably goes invisible. Probably has the invisible one to screw stuff up. So she gets the extra turn. A little slow, but that's a lot of damage. It's going to kill anything except for Cecilia, unless she actually hits Cecilia. You're very typical. And then last but not least, Zahak. Looks like a Bruiser Zahak right here. Pen, crit, immunity, 184 speed, good amount of damage, but also a good amount of bulk. Not too sure what this is used for. What violets? Do people use him very often? I don't see him very often. I don't see him picked very often. Yeah, no, good damage for the bulk. And actually, surprisingly, one, it's not in counter set or destro, and two, it's 184 speed. It's actually surprisingly speedy for this guy's account, actually. So overall, it's interesting to see how the number 2 legend JP player gears his account. I think it's interesting. There's a lot of questionable choices here. There's a lot of questionable choices, and I do think that one of the cruxes of the problem, is that they just haven't had as much time as Global has had to get gear. Realistically, this guy's fastest unit was ML Lilias, right? At 281 speed. We did not see another unit in his kit that was as fast or faster than this ML Lilias. So if we use the number 2 player in JP as a benchmark for opener speed, JP is about 20 to 25 speed faster, about 25 speed faster. Actually, I'd say 25 to 30 speed faster, because I'd wager our Legend 2s are probably rocking, 315 speed, right? At least. So 20 to 30 speed slower than Global is. But where is it at? This is literally the best ML Ken that I have ever seen in my life. The best. Oh yeah, slower. They're 25 to 30 speed slower than Global. Sorry. This is the best ML Ken I've ever seen. And now I aspire to somehow overcome this ML Ken. That's my goal, boys. I will have the best ML Ken, the best ER ML Ken in the entire world. And this is the one that I have to beat. Anyways, thank you for watching this, me reacting to this guy's account. This was the legend number 2 in JP. I've never really done anything like this, and now I'm gonna go eat pizza, which I was gonna do before I decided to make this hour-long video going over all of this guy's gear. Big shout out to this dude. I'm actually super excited to see what JP brings to the RTA landscape, just because they're a newer server. But dude, I'll tell you what, but JP people are crazy. So we'll see. Maybe some of these units are geared the way they are because they're on a completely different level of thinking than we are. But we'll see when they come to the main stage, baby. But as always, if you guys like this content, make sure you like, fave, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification, because a lot of you guys would be like, bro, I haven't seen you in ages. You streaming some Epic 7? Well, that's crazy, dude. I haven't seen you stream in 27 years. And I'm like, bro, I streamed yesterday twice. I streamed the day, I think I streamed the day before. Hit that bell notification. I stream on YouTube and Twitch all the time, except when I'm sick. Then I upload videos every so often. Or you can just join the Discord, where I will ping you if you want to see it. But make sure you comment down below to help out the algorithm, because YouTube hates me. Much like those two dudes that thumbs down every video that I put up, even though nobody but me can see it. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.